Dr. Chee, I get people ask me that if they cheat on their spouse, actually I think they already cheated on their spouse, should they confess or not?
Well, that's a difficult question because it really depends on what they want. I mean, why aren't they confessing? How they feel about confessing, and also how they define cheating.
Suppose they slept with others.
Slept with others. So you're asking whether the person that cheated should tell the partner.
Yeah, that I have cheated on you.
Well, does the person feel guilty about it? And how come they didn't tell him before? Like, why would they ask a professional before making a decision to say it themselves?
I do not know. I get people asking me should they confess or not. Why do you think they ask this question?
I think, to me, that would mean they feel kind of guilty about what they did.
So you think they confess because they want to ask for forgiveness?
Forgiveness, or to look, there's a lot of reasons why people cheat. I mean, some is to get back at their spouse. Some is they're unsatisfied with the relationship and they're looking for a way to break up. And some just do it because they can't help themselves. So whether to confess or not, that's an individual choice. So if the person comes to me and asks that, I would have to find out more about why they did it, how many times it's happened, and what did they expect to after they told or didn't tell. Can they hold the secret? Because one thing secrets do to any relationship is kind of kill the relationship eventually.
Oh, because for most people who didn't study psychology, they would think that there are rules of knives, such as I should not lie to my spouse. If I cheated to someone, I should tell the truth, to be honest. So right now you are saying that sometimes you should not be honest?
No, not that I'm saying. I think you always should be honest with your intentions and your feelings and know about what you want to do yourself. Honestly, a lot of times people just cheat because they don't even think about it.
Well, why they don't even think about it? They have to take off their clothes.
It's strange. I've talked to a lot of patients, for example, who have addictions and obsessive behaviors, that they start doing it because they feel it's the right thing and it becomes automatic. And when they're doing it, they kind of blank out.
Why they would feel like it's the right thing? So you're saying that they are not guilty?
Sometimes they don't feel guilty because it's been learned from watching other people in their lives cheat off it. Like, that's how they define love sometimes. Or that's how they know how to get into a relationship or get closer to some people.
Oh, God.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Sorry, I get a little too complicated.
It's okay. We can talk about this in another episode. Then we go back to the question. If you cheat on your spouse, then your answer would be that sometimes you should tell your spouse, sometimes you should not.
I would really go back to what do you want in confessing.
Suppose you want to feel better about yourself. Should you confess?
So suppose you want to feel better. If you want to relieve the guilt that you feel about yourself, sure, of course, you should. It would be recommended that you would tell your partner that you cheated.
But what if, suppose I cheat on a spouse, I feel really guilty, I tell my partner, and my partner gets pissed off?
Okay, so this is a very good question. A lot of people have asked me. This may get a little bit too complicated, but there's something versus hope versus expectation. Now, the difference is, hope is when I tell somebody, I just want to get my feelings across and have it out there so it can be heard. Now, when you expect, you tell somebody you want them to change based on what you've told them. The second part always gets you in trouble because you can never, I've been doing this quite a long time, change anybody without them wanting to change first. Because if you expect that, you will always be disappointed, almost always.
So you're saying that you can confess and hope that your spouse understands, but you cannot expect
them.
What if they don't understand? Then should I confess?
What if?
Should I take the risk that they may not take?
Again, what's your intention? If your intention is to be honest and to relieve yourself of guilt or to feel better about the relationship, to build the connection, then yeah, I would definitely do that.
So suppose, because
But my thing is, look, you cheated right there. That's saying that there's something wrong with the relationship, in my eyes. Unless it's learned already that cheating's okay. If you most cases, if you've already cheated on your spouse and you're thinking about confessing, that means there's a conflict, meaning inside something you're not agreeing with. So what gets people in trouble, they have this battle inside. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So thinking about whether I confess or not, that's a battle. When you say to the other partner, that battle lessens because no longer are you thinking about confessing or not. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So,
I see.
So it's really to relieve yourself. Expecting your partner to understand, expecting your partner to forgive you, expecting your partner to be angry, you can do that all you want. But you never know what's going to happen, which is the beauty and the frustration of it. Because you can go in hoping they'll forgive you and they'll be upset. You could go in expecting to be upset, but they might forgive you. But if you go in with a certain way of looking at it, usually it'll turn out that way. That make sense?
Yes, makes sense. Thank you.
Sure.